Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and continuing with Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. Now we're up to Episode 11, and that is Shattered. Ah, yes, that's right. So Episode 11, Shattered, yet this takes place right after the battle on Mandalore and such. Maul's been captured, and his Death Watch have been defeated and such, taken to custody. Even we see Gar Saxon, he's been captured and such, so, and Maul, he's been put in a cell or something, Mandalore, that kind of stuff. And more tie-ins to Revenge of the Sith, of course, pretty much, because with the seed of Mandalore being completely tied in with Revenge of the Sith, because with Ahsoka and Rex, Ahsoka called into, a meeting and such, and, even Ahsoka mentions Anakin to Rex, and, he says that he was there at the meeting, right, when I left, so, and yet, we come to Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Aayla Secura, and Yoda, and literally, the dialogue that they're saying, pretty much, that's the scene in Revenge of the Sith, with Mace Windu. I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi. The dark side of the Force surrounds the Chancellor. And even Ki-Adi-Mundi, the voice of Ki-Adi-Mundi, is actually the same dialogue from Revenge of the Sith, with What's-His-Face, who played Ki-Adi-Mundi, and who also did Viceroy Nute Gunray. So, that's cool. That's cool that his voice is in there in the Clone Wars, as Ki-Adi-Mundi, of course. And yet literally right after Yoda says, "Great care we must take," of course in Revenge of the Sith, that's where we cut, we translate to we see Palpatine and Anakin, and that's where Ahsoka comes in, after Yoda says that, etc. And so, they have talk and such, and as Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Aayla Secura, they leave, and that's when Yoda's last one on there, Ahsoka, more to say you have, more to say have you, and she was gonna mention what, because of Maul, wanting Anakin or something like that, but of course she never did, and, Yoda says, "May the Force be with you," he leaves, and of course, there's a little bit more talk a little bit last conversation between Bo-Katan and Ahsoka. And so, the attack cruiser leaves, the Republic cruiser goes into hyperspace, there's a little, conversation between Ahsoka and Rex, because even mentioning, a good friend that Rex is, and I remember Rex even says, without the war, there wouldn't be us, we wouldn't be here, clones, or anything, there wouldn't be clones, however he says it, and of course, one clone comes to Rex, I guess, a report or something, and Ahsoka just, lets him go, I guess she'll catch up or something, I can't remember, and that's when, after a little bit of quiet and just music, and we just see Ahsoka and etc. And as we cut to Maul, he opens his eyes and he senses it, and so does Ahsoka. What's going on Coruscant? More tie-ins to Revenge of the Sith. That the scene with Palpatine and Windu and Anakin. It's not the Jedi way. We hear the voices of Samuel L. Jackson, Hayden Christensen, and Ian McDiarmid, and it's really cool. And of course, Ahsoka can sense it, of course, as I said, and we do hear a bit of Clone Wars Anakin. Matt Lanter is voicing Anakin, what have I done? And then Ahsoka, she says, Anakin, and then we cut to Rex, we see his eyes, and we see Palpatine, and he says, execute Order 66, and with Ian McDiarmid's voice, and Rex, he says, yes, Lord Sidious. And Ahsoka comes in, Rex drops his helmet, he pulls out the guns and such. Well, the clones, we see the two clones, right behind Ahsoka. They're just kind of and then, they point their guns at her, and, Rex tells him, no, I'll do it. And he's just fighting himself, find him, Fives, find him, and then just, he can't control it, and that's when he shoots and such, and Ahsoka whips out her lightsabers, and a bit of music from Revenge of the Sith, you know, as we hear, like on the scene in Mustafar, the aftermath of killing the Separatists, you know, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, we hear that, and of course, with the music playing, you know, with where we see Anakin, one last bit of good in him, yeah, that music, so, you know, it's played right there. Ahsoka escapes, she stops, I think she kills the 2 clones that I guess are about to kill Maul. She has a little talk with Maul and such. At first she thinks it's his doing, but it's not. And that's when, you know, she releases him and, like, you know, she lets him do whatever, you know, because knowing Maul, because how he'll take care of the clones. And of course we see, you know, because at one point, you know, like, kind of like cuts them or something. He even cuts one of their arms, you know, for the blast doors. Oh, man. Even like chopping their heads off. It's that's definitely what Maul would do. And then of course Ahsoka awakens some of the droids, including R7, which is Ahsoka's droid, and I think one called Chip, I think, and GG, I think that's what they're GG and Cheap, I guess, yeah. That's the droids' names, along with R7, and they access the archives or memory files with 5s and such, and the chips, you know, and as we know in Season 6, and even What's-Her-Face from Coruscant, the Kamino, What's-Her-Face, who's in Season 6, you know, she makes an appearance via hologram, and information about the chips, etc., you know, put in the clones' heads. And that's when the droids in Ahsoka, they get Rex, they like try to get the chip out of him, etc. And they succeed. And even one part where Ahsoka puts her fingers and hands on Rex's head and like says, "I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me." That's really cool. A nod to the line in Rogue One, you know. And then of course, you know, a bunch of clones, they try to break in. They do, you know, blasting at Ahsoka. You know, she gets hit at least, you know, one spot. Now, I guess not too bad. But then, of course, Rex pulls out his blasters, and he saves her, etc. And, like, you know, "I'm alright, kid," you know, etc. And yet Rex explains, Rex gets the last lines of the episode. He explains that, you know, all of the clones, you know, the entire Grand Army of the Republic are ordered to kill all the Jedi Knights, etc. And, yep, every clone across the galaxy and with the Jedis, you know it, so. And then last shots of the clones still breaking in and such, and the shot of Ahsoka's face, close-up of her face, and boom, the credits roll. So yeah, Episode 11, Shattered, it's a really good episode. It's a really good episode, you know, still. And, you know, for it being the third episode of the Seed of Mandalore arc, definitely. So, and you guys let me know what you think of. Let me know what you think of the Seed of Mandalore, because for me, I love it. It's a really good episode, and one more episode to go. Yep. So again, with that said, you guys let me know what you think of Episode 11. I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review video. Take care, peace out, and may the Force be with you.